नमस्कार, आप देख रहे हैं सीएमएन न्यूज़। खास मुलाकात में आप सभी का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। हर बार हम कोशिश करते हैं कुछ ऐसे पहलुओं को आप तक पहुंचाएं जो आप तक नहीं पहुंचे हैं और जिन पर आपको गर्व भी हो। भारत के इतिहास में बहुत सी कहानियां ऐसी छिपी हैं जिन्हें अगर आपके सामने आज रखा जाए तो इतिहास का गर्व भी आप आज ही महसूस करेंगे। हम सभी वाकिफ़ हैं एक नाम से, जब भी आता है स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों का तो सुभाष चंद्र बोस जी का नाम सबसे पहले लिया जाता है, क्योंकि उन्होंने स्थापना की थी आज़ाद हिंद फौज की। ऐसा हम सभी ने पढ़ा है, लेकिन व्यवहारिक सच्चाई उनके जीवन की किस तरह से भारत में हुई है और कौन लोग उसके गवाह हैं जो आज भी हमारे बीच में मौजूद हैं उस सच्चाई को जाहिर करने के लिए। ये बात है उन दिनों की जब भारत गुजर रहा था द्वितीय विश्व युद्ध के दौर से और आज़ाद हिंद फौज म्यांमार से होती हुई भारत में पहुंची थी नागालैंड के थ्रू। वहां पर एक गांव में पहुंचने पर उन्हें एहसास हुआ कि आखिर भारत में वो पूरी फौज आई है और एक गांव की तरफ से किस तरह से और क्या क्या मदद आज़ाद हिंद फौज को उस समय की गई थी। सुनने में आपको लग रहा होगा कि इतनी पुरानी बातें आखिर आज कैसे इस मंच पर हो रही है। बताते हैं आपको, क्योंकि आज हमारे खास मेहमान नागालैंड के उसी गांव से पधारे हैं जिनका हम बहुत बहुत स्वागत करते हैं और उन्हीं से जानेंगे कि आखिर द्वितीय विश्व युद्ध के समय में किस तरह के हालात थे हमारे भारत में और किस तरह से उनके पूरे गांव का, उनके पूरे परिवार का सहयोग रहा था आज़ाद हिंद फौज के लिए। तो सबसे पहले हम अपने स्टूडियो में स्वागत करते हैं डॉक्टर इंजीनियर वेखो सूरो साहब का, जो वर्तमान में चेयरमैन हैं सुभाष चंद्र बोस मेमोरियल सोसाइटी नागालैंड के। Sir, we welcome you and thanks for coming here.
Good evening, thank you.
Sir, as we know about your past that your village and your family had done a lot for the Azad Hind Fauj. Will you please elaborate in World War II at that moment, what were the circumstances in India?
Thank you. During 1944, Subhash Chandra Bose and the Azad Hind Fauj government with INA and Japanese, they came from Singapore to Myanmar, Burma. Then from Burma, from Homalin to my village, Rezajo. It has been very confirmed that Subhash Chandra Bose was very much in the forefront and was announced in the radio of Germany as well as in the Tokyo and from Azad Hind Radio also. So also it has been confirmed in the book and the records and the files that Subhash Chandra Bose was in some undisclosed place in India during that war period. And in last week of April, he came through Myanmar to my village from Jesami, Phek, Khuzami to my village.
Okay.
Was there in my village early in the morning and he called the villagers and had a meeting. And he had already promised to the villagers that once the India got freedom, he will adopt the village and he will give development.
And that is the movement when India is not independent, before independence, that's the movement at that time.
He was prime minister at that time. India itself was not free from British rule,
Right.
but this government has already been started from Singapore as Azad Hind Fauj government. And Subhash Chandra Bose was the first exiled prime minister, and he had come to my village and administered my village by appointing my father, Posui Suro, as Dubashi area administrator.
At that time.
That time.
Right.
And he appointed another 10 GBs, Gaumburas, to control the villagers from different khels. So my father had been appointed as Dubashi area administrator. He had issued several orders for rations to different villages. He went to different villages, various villages, and informed the villagers to collect the rations and the porters and submitted to the India National Army camp. So my father has been given various orders to the villagers. So he was administrative officer there. And Subhash Chandra Bose was in my village. He came by horse. Then when he came by horse, the horse was also very hungry, and women folk has already been employed to carry water because there is no water supply. So I happened to carry water from the well outside the village boundary.
Even they must be in need of food also at that moment. They were on a long journey.
Yeah, as I said, my father had been given authority to collect, rations. So 9 days completely, when Subhash Chandra Bose was in my village, Aine, along with Aine and Japanese, all the villagers contributed everything to him. Then he promised the villagers for many development.
Right.
So villagers were also being impressed, and for India freedom, we have contributed everything, and they have not come for only with only 200-300 people. They came with around 5,000-6,000 people, 5,000-6,000 Jawans.
You took care of those all 5,000 around people for couple of days or some more weeks.
Yeah, not only that. After 5-6 days again, reinforcement happened to come, and all came and collected rations from my village as well as from my neighbor village.
That's very hard at that time, that 300 people are in a village and they are feeding to 5,000 people as a guest over there.
That is why I said that yes, all the commodities, what they have, the rations, what they have in the village has been donated to Subhash Chandra Bose and Aine. And not only donating, they have been ported the rations to different places as well as the ammunitions like bullets and other guns and all. Villagers were carrying from the village to different mountains, different camps, and helping them.
So basically, you support in every aspect you can do for Azad Hind Fauj at that moment.
Yeah, not only given ration, my father was also fought in the war. He had been to 50 kilometers ahead with Indian National Army and Japanese. He was guiding them, his elder brother also along with him. And on their way, they could not further because the British force were too much. So while they're retreating back, on their way, before reaching my village, Britishers had attacked them, ambushed them on their way.
Okay.
So 3 Japanese killed, 1 Naga guy. He is also class 8 pass student from Zunheboto district. He was also killed at the spot, but my father was luckily survived. Until today he is living with us, and he is now 100 years of age.
That's really great to know, sir.
Thank you.
And one more thing, sir, at that time, it means you can ask your father directly. At that moment, when they decide to cooperate for the Indian National Army, at that moment, India is governed under British rules. So don't they get a thought that they are in a high risk for complete village by supporting them?
You see, our village is little, near to the border, and the district headquarters of Kohima, Naga Hills. That time it is not Nagaland, only Naga Hills, and that were little far. And my villagers were actually earlier they were little afraid, but later when Subhash Chandra Bose hosted a meeting, he had appointed my father as well as others also villagers to serve him, and he had already pronounced many promises to the villagers. So villagers were convinced, and the Britishers were reddish in color, white. But Subhash Chandra Bose were same skin with us, so villagers were attracted and decided to support Subhash Chandra Bose and INA.
And that decision goes in the favor of India, and in 1947,
Yes.
when we get freedom. So at that moment, what you feel is the wave of energy is in your village at that time in 1947?
In 1944, we supported Subhash Chandra Bose, but in 1947, at that moment when we get independent, the Indian army were sent by the government of India to Nagaland without assessing the history, how we have struggled. But they directly came and burned down my village also. Many had been tortured. Many had said that, my father said that the Indian army came to our village and they tortured our villagers because we had supported Subhash Chandra Bose, INA and Japanese. Ne?
Okay.
So rather we get anything, we get tortured by Indian army also.
But you must be appraised for that, according to that you are supporting, and being an Indian, you are supporting an Indian leader with a vision of independence. Instead of getting an appraisal from them, you are getting a threat. I think that's.
Yes, that is it is well known to everybody that political differences was there with Jawaharlal Nehru and then Subhash Chandra Bose.
And that village has to pay for that. And do you think that was a justice at that moment?
No justice. Even today also we are not getting any status of freedom fighter. We have contributed everything. We have served them. We have portered them. We have sacrificed our life. But nothing been recognized by the government of India. But now we are started and we have already submitted letters. Government of Nagaland also supporting chief ministers. 3 consecutive chief ministers, they wrote letter to Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, as well as to Dr. Mahesh Sharma. And for National Heritage Village. And also now we are written to given as letter to Government of India to consider this area, those who ported as national freedom fighter also. So we have already applied, but till today in Nagaland, no freedom fighter is there. India freedom fighter is being registered or recognized, yes.
So now, sir, one more thing we can get the right answer from only your side. Mr. Subhash Chandra Bose has done lots of things and devote his complete life to the country. And there is no doubt left now that your village and your family has done a lot to the country also. So nowadays, do you have any contact with the family of Mr. Subhash Chandra Bose?
Yes, I have contact with Subhash Chandra Bose families. Many families members were already visited, and even not only that, some of the distant family members and some close family members also visited our area and our place. We are all constant contact with them.
That relation is still maintained very healthily, you can say.
Yes, it is not political. But
that's a personal attachment.
Personal attachment, and through history we are
connected with. That's really a proud moment. We are moving to our viewers that we are discussing to Mr. Dr. Engineer Vekho Suroji, and he is chairman of Subhash Chandra Bose Memorial Society, Nagaland, and his family has devoted a lot of efforts for the country's freedom in 1944 by feeding Indian National Army when coming up to India through Nagaland from Myanmar. So, sir, lots of books have been written about your efforts. Your village name has been taken over there. So, what do you think people nowadays, when getting to know about your village and your contribution to the country, what kind of feedback you get nowadays?
People, whosoever came to know that respect our village, many people are called Razajo village as a holy village because Subhash Chandra Bose came to that village and stayed there for 9 days during the struggling period. And now other this TV channel also they came, and in some print media also many had been publish the news items. So slowly many people knowing us also, not only here in India. Now it has been internationalized, but government of India part is lacking behind, because they have not even yet have declared my village as a national heritage village. There is no initiation from government of India to protect this village and preserve the monuments and places where our freedom struggle patriots, our leader, our hero Subhash Chandra Bose was stayed or had a meeting. Many memorial places is there, memorable places, but nothing been yet developed. So we are fighting for that. I believe that all the people around here, or those who see us also, should support our cause.
Exactly, and they have to support, because what you had done in your past and your family had given a huge favor to the country, and we are living in a free India. We can say 1947 we got freedom, but behind that there's a lot of stories were there, and this is one of the most important story, and this is the real fact. And we are very thankful to Dr. Engineer Veko Suroji. You grace this stage, sir, very well, and we hope you get the thing you are struggling for right now, that you don't have to do it for long, because people know and they recognized as a well-known honorary name in Nagaland, and for us also, sir. Thanks for giving your time to our show, sir.
Thank you too. We'll meet again. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.